Welcome to another episode of OK Boomer, the podcast, brought to you by our friends over at the Inked marketing team. If you need a little extra help with your Kickstarter or Indiegogo, head over to Inked Marketing at www.inked.marketing today, who want us to remind you about Heel Turn, the comic. Heel Turn is a horror comic featuring Ethan Johnson, a seemingly normal individual who is well known as an independent masked wrestler who goes by Ethan Edwards. But he has a sadistic side that little known about. He is a serial killer. Everybody needs a hobby, right? This guy's hobby is a killer. Heel Turn, where wrestling meets Dexter. Get your copy today at www.inked.pub/heel turn. And now, here we are.
Yep, here we are again.
Here we are again. It's Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we are at the virtual spinner rack this week. And this time I actually have the book. And we're going to get into Emperor Doom.
Dude, this is so 80s.
Oh, it is such a perfect book.
Yeah.
And before I forget, subscribe, comment, and share. All right. And possibly that. So, on with the show.
Yeah. I actually just finished reading it probably about 20 minutes before the show. I had never read this one, man. I honestly had never read this, so I had to actually sit down and read this whole thing, not just.
I think I started to read it when I bought it, or I might have read it when I bought it, but I bought it the week it came out.
Yeah, which was like 30 years ago.
Yeah. So I remember having it, and I remember just that like line art sketch, ghost image of Doom coming up behind the Avengers. I'm like, that sold me on the book right there. That yeah. and Dr. Doom is a badass. So
yeah, he's an absolute badass, and the fact that Namor is in here, and Namor is an absolute badass. The thing that gets me with this book, though, is, man, it's like this was actually a West Coast Avengers book. It shouldn't be an Avengers book, but it's West Coast Avengers.
It is, but they use both teams.
Yeah, there are a few from both teams, and it just, like I said, the art starts off good, and then it's Bob Hall and Michelin wrote it. So go from that kick-ass cover, and the thing is this is all based. This is based on a concept by Grunwald, Michelin, and Shooter. So I mean, it's like a whole damn. I guess they gathered around the table at the Marvel studio and said, "Let's come up with a kick-ass idea for Dr. Doom." And
this page right here is just cool. Just the mask and the eyes lit up.
And as badass as this page is, there's a page in here with Dr. Doom's face that's even badder. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Holy crap!" It was damn amazing. As we were reading
that, and it's got Iron Man in my favorite armor. So,
oh yeah, he's got the yellow, or not the yellow, but the white and the gold armor. Honestly, not white and gold, white and
white and red.
Yeah, honestly thought when I flipped to the first page of this that for a minute there that was the Beast. I was like, really? What the hell? It's just I saw the color, and then as I was reading it, I was like, oh no, that's Kilgrave. He's like at the French Riviera, French Polynesia.
Yeah.
Enjoying himself.
At first, I thought it was Jarvis when he was making Jarvis walk a handstand, and then I realized no, they're not at the Avengers Mansion. Of course, they're not. There's water there.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing across from the Avengers Mansion is Central Park. But yes, I mean, and I was like, so I was reading it. I'm like, okay, there's Kilgrave. He's at he's in French Polynesia. living it up. Which hey, if I could control people, that's what I would be doing. And then like somebody comes up and grabs him and resists him, and then yanks him off, and we don't ever find out who it is until a couple pages down the road. Like, just who the hell? Because I mean, Kilgrave really now, and that's probably from Bendis's run on like the oh god, the Alias series really made Kilgrave the badass that he was. Because back in the day, he was kind of a joke. I mean, he showed up in Daredevil 4, and he doesn't make many more appearances after that. But
yeah, I know.
Bendis
Sadly.
Sadly, Bendis made him a badass. This damn book right here is pretty damn close too. But yeah, so we don't know who the hell grabs him, but so somebody's there and abducts Kilgrave, and then we go flash to a good splash page, and then we find a guy in New York walking through the rain, and as you read it, you kind of figure out who it is, and this is of course Namor.
Yeah, as soon as the cop says some guy with winged feet, I go, well, I know who it is now.
Yeah. If I had any doubt, I don't have any more. Yeah, and he's hid because Namor's not always a good guy. He's perpetual. He could help you one day and beat your ass the next.
I would be just like that if if I wasn't crippled, fat, lazy, and had superpowers.
Damn it. So yeah, the ears kind of give it away too.
Look, it's Spock.
It's Spock, yeah. So he shows up at the Four Seasons, and I was reading it, and I'm like, okay, so he shows up at the Four Seasons, and they're going to give him hell, and then somebody blasts his ass, and of course Namor just flies off the the handle as always. Who dares strike the avenging sun? He always does that. Avenging Sun, Imperious Rex, the whole 9 yards. And Doom is just like, hey, come on, Namor, put aside your childish posturing. He says, and enjoy my hospitality. Like, damn it. So, you were talking about it last week. This kind of leads into that whole champion story. And then this is, which, the champion story was part of that whole run of supervillain team up when Dr. Doom and Namor actually teamed up to try and take over the world. And here they are at it again.
Yep.
And so they sit down, and when they sit down, Dr. Doom tells him that, isn't it kind of funny that no one's paid attention to the fact that I just shot you with an energy bolt across the room? And Namor's like, yeah, it is kind of puzzling. Mm-hmm. And so Doom goes on to explain his plan. He's one freaking hair of the Purple Man inside this psycho prison is allowing him to control everybody in the damn restaurant.
Probably everybody for about 10 blocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Mm-hmm. And Doom goes on to tell him, he says, only people with exceptional will can resist the psychoprism or mechanical automatons, robots. And he's like, so I need you to use this prism to go and, defeat the other people, the 3 people that really can resist me. And I'll convince everybody to rule the world. That I'm to rule the world. And they get outside. Damn cops show up. They're, oh, nothing to see here. We're gonna head on. It's like damn Star Wars. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah. And then then Doom and Namor have to duck under cover, and he doesn't know why. And then they see the ghostly vision flying by, and he is one of the ones that Doom needs Namor to slap that special control disc on. Yep.
Yeah, and the thing is though, when you he tells not here, we don't really see what it is here, but later in the book it tells you the control disc is essentially the same thing as the psychoprism, the little one that Doom gives Namor here. Because later on in the book you see the little control disc, for whatever reason, it's got a strand of the Purple Man's hair in it as well. So I guess that extreme close proximity overrides the robot's will, and the disc allows him to actually take control of them. And in as a bargain, Doom says, hey, look, if you do this for me, you can have complete control of the oceans when I have complete control of the world. And Namor is as much of a butthole as he is, he's always like, doing the best for his people. It's lasting peace. There is no choice. I'll do it.
And he's been dethroned at this point. So
yeah,
if he can return to Atlantis and present them with the fact that Doom is now emperor of the world, and he has relinquished control of all the oceans to me.
Yep. Then I'll be king again. And, we won't even deal with the surface dwellers anymore. They're going to quit polluting the ocean. They're going to clean their shit up. No more fighting, no more warring. Everything's going to be great. This was kind of a weird little jump for the book, because you go from Doom to, I was like, oh, what is this, a war book? And then we realized it's actually on a movie set out in Los Angeles. And this is when Wonder Man this is before he actually becomes what he is. Actually, he may not be this way now. I can't remember. Remember when he become like ionic? He had the little particles and everything?
Yeah.
In the late 90s Avengers run. He's still in his human form here, kind of. But he's the king of the stuntmen. He's jumping on live explosions, getting blowed up. And the damn director's like, we'll move back to the studio tomorrow. We don't need you for the love scene, Simon. He's like, gee, thanks, man.
It's like, motherfucker, you can blow me up all day, but you won't actually give me a real acting part.
Yeah, you won't give me a real acting part with hot chicks.
This is Wonder Man being stuck in the same role that Longshot was when he first came to Earth. Remember, Longshot ended up as a stuntman because no matter what, nothing could stop him.
I think I do now. Yeah. God.
It was like issue 4 or 5 of the miniseries.
Yeah, because I've got that. I actually read an article the other day. We'll have to look at it one day about how many character miniseries Marvel did in the 80s, and I freaking love them all.
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading the U.S. Agent one a while back when I was watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's a good series.
Of course, well, speaking of which, there was the Falcon 4-issue miniseries, which is great.
Yep. Falcon is great.
Iceman. The Iceman one was amazing.
Yeah. Don't forget Jack of Hearts.
And then these motherfuckers turned him into a woohoo.
Damn it.
They turned him into the month of June.
To June. Good gosh.
And
so,
there was some other great ones too. Of course, the Scarlet and Vision maxi series.
Yep.
Well,
they had a 4-issue miniseries first.
Yeah.
And then they did the 12-issue maxi series. Cloak and Dagger, which I read a while back.
Yeah,
that's good as hell.
That's so good.
War Machine.
Why? Because everything was better in the 80s. That's why.
Is that what it is?
Kitty Pryde and Wolverine.
Yep, that was 12 issues. Not to mention Wolverine's 4-issue miniseries.
I got that right over here.
That's damn good reading.
The Namor. The Namor 4-issue one.
Yep, where he's fighting the damn dragon on the cover.
Yeah.
Or the sea monster, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Whatever. There's a big monster on the cover and Namor's fighting it. Why would you not pick that book up at what was it, like 75 cents? $1.25 at the most?
75 cents, yeah. Of course, the one we haven't mentioned yet is the one that really starts it all. To me, one of the greatest runs of all is the 5-issue Punisher miniseries that was supposed to be 4 issues at first, but then it became 5 issues.
Yes, I do not have that. I think I have one of the issues. I might have them. I don't remember. I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
I have at least one out of the 5.
Oh, so while we're talking about this too, we're talking about the miniseries. Don't forget, Hawkeye had one, and West Coast Avengers had a 4-issue miniseries before the regular series launched.
I know. I sold it to you. It's sitting in the pile over here. I got to send you an invoice.
Damn it. Yeah, I got 1 or 2 of those issues here. So Wonder Man leaves the damn studio, gets his suit, and goes back to the West Coast Avengers mansion. And he shows up. There's Mockingbird. I got her first appearance a while back. I read it. That's a good book. Who is at this time married to Hawkeye. And she's like, hey, you want some pizza? And they go out of their way right here to inform you that Wonder Man is like, cool, I would love to have some pizza with you. Even though my indestructible body doesn't require nourishment, but eating pizza with some friends would be a great thing, and I'd enjoy it a lot. I mean, I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. He specifically says that to Hawkeye, so you know that's got to play into this damn story somewhere.
And it plays in because didn't Wonder Man have a fling with Mockingbird at some point? Or was it Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch. It wasn't Mockingbird, Scarlet Witch.
Wanda's the hoe.
Yeah, but no, Wonder Man walks past the hoe. She's out here sunbathing. She's reading damn Garfield. She's reading
the cat is reading Garfield.
Yeah, she's reading. She's like, he says, hey, you want a hero sandwich? She's reading a Jim Davis book. And Jim Davis is the guy who does Garfield. So she's reading a damn Garfield comic strip. Like, really? Come on, people. So she's like, maybe I'll prowl around the kitchen later and find something to eat. Of course, Wonder Man is like, well, maybe it's a good thing that I don't eat, because he's bitching about the cold pizza that Hawkeye and Mockingbird are like making love over. And we find out that Tony Stark is going to do some experimenting to actually find out what kind of energy Wonder Man is made out of. So to do this, he's going to put him in this like soupy chemical stuff that's going to
sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah, with all this junk in it that's going to see what kind of energy is made out of, but it's going to take a damn month.
I'm going to put you in this stuff that looks like Slimer, and you're just going to sleep in there for about a month, and when you come out, we'll let you know.
Yeah, and he tells, as Tony Stark is slamming the lid on it, he's like, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, boy, that was damn foreshadowing.
What could possibly go wrong if the most powerful member of our team is locked up?
Yeah, in the sensory deprivation chamber. Well, from there we flash over to the West Coast Avengers, and here's Jarvis, who's talking to the Vision. He's like, hey man, there's somebody here to see you. And Jarvis just lets Namor walk in. Of course,
Namor is got one of Purple Man's curly hairs around his neck. So
yeah, he's got the psycho thing. So that's why he let him in. And Namor goes ahead and tells him, what's going on. He says, they've all welcomed me, all the Avengers here, and you'll welcome me as soon as I put this device on you. Well, when he goes to freaking, Vision becomes intangible. so he can't do it. And then Namor has Star Fox, the unused character of today, and Scarlet Witch show up. He's like, "Behold, Star Fox and the Scarlet Witch, your wife, both under my complete command." And he tells us Star Fox to like rip off Scarlet Witch's head. Like, damn it! Of course, the Vision gives up. I mean, like immediately, and whines a little bit. "I'll do as you ask." And Namor slaps the disc on his forehead, and as soon as he does, the Vision becomes under his control, and
makes him dance.
makes him dance like an idiot, and tells him to erase to replace all the security recordings from this point, and leaves. And then we flash forward to Doom Island, where Doctor Doom lands, and he's like marching around, being all Darth Vader-y like, and everybody's terrified of him.
And why are his soldiers wearing like Poland Springs water bottles on their head?
I don't know. I guess it's to help with the fact that the Purple Man's there. I don't know, because he does say that he does have a field in here that is keeping the Purple Man's energy from affecting the scientist and some of the soldiers inside. Maybe it's to help. But he shows up, and Kilgrave is just pissed off. He's like, he's screaming and ranting and raving, "You'll pay for this." Because Dr. Doom has him, he's building this giant psychoprism that he's going to use to control the entire world, and the Purple Man is like locked up inside of it.
Yep.
Of course, now we flash back, because this is the cool part here, which I didn't see this coming. When the Vision actually, the fight starts, the security cameras go off, and the entire conflict between Namor, where he explains Doom's plan to the Vision and everything, gets transmitted to the West Coast Avengers. So they're like, "Wow, so now we've got to stop Dr. Doom. But how are we going to do it?" Because honestly, the East Coast Avengers are the heavy hitters, and they're kind of under Dr. Doom's control. So they're kind of left thinking about how they're going to try and do it. But then we flash forward. This kind of makes me mad here. This part, I love Machine Man, dude. We need to read some Machine Man comics just sometime in the future or something.
You're mad because Machine Man got disked, got his arm fixed, and then they made him break dance.
Yeah, that is it. He is in the book because I was like, what 3 robots could actually fight him? I was thinking when we started reading it, I was like, okay, Vision's going to get caught. Then, like Machine Man and, maybe somebody else will be able to go and fight Dr. Doom. And Machine Man is completely punked out. I mean, he break dances and that's it. I'm like, wow. And he does, because he gets his arm fixed, and then Dr. Doom has, or not Dr. Doom, but Namor has Machine Man's buddy put the damn psycho disc on him, and he never even stands a chance. He doesn't know anything's going on. This is the part I was telling you that it was cooler than me, because he's on Doom's island, and so Kilgrave is just ranting and raving, and Dr. Doom tells everybody to leave, and he enters the psychoprism with Kilgrave, who's being suspended there, and tells him, he says, "I'm going to take off, my mask. So, all the protection from your mind control will be removed." And Kilgrave's trying to tell him, "Stand on your head, release me, kill yourself." And he's going on and on. He's like, no one has a will that strong. And Doom just looks at him and he says, "Now, who deserves to rule the world?" I'm like, damn.
And just the look of shock and awe on Kilgrave's face.
Yeah, because Doom is, he's doing everything he can to control Doom, and Doom is like 3 feet away from him, and he can't do a damn thing. Nothing. And All right, so now we flash back to the West Coast Avengers, and they get in the Quinjet, and they're going to head off to try and catch Doctor Doom and stop him.
Yeah,
And as soon as,
they did some investigating and they found out that
yeah,
there was a large land mass that was just purchased and all the funds came from that area.
yeah, so they're like, that's where he's at. That's where he's got to be. So when they do that, they head off, and of course, when they land, damn robots are everywhere, and they realize, hey, these are robots. Doom uses robots left and right, so they start killing the robots and wading through Doom's forces. This kind of got me too. This was
hey Lorenzo, how are you?
Hey man, this kind of got me too. I didn't think of excuse me, I did not think of Emperor Doom, showing it for him. I did not think of Ultron as being one of the 3 damn robots that could resist Doom. It just didn't come to me because he's another bad guy. He's got the same thing. But Namor freaking shows up and he punks Ultron out terribly. He just like insults him, and as soon as Ultron like runs at him, he damn slaps it on him before anything can go on, and then tells him he says bow before a human and leaves. But yeah, Namor punks his ass out terribly.
Oh yeah, I'm like, where was Namor in this disc in that crappy Avengers movie?
This disconnect in Avengers 2. Movie's over. Damn it.
Lorenzo, I stream every friggin' night, except the weekends. One weekend a month I do I co-host CrumCon, which is a mostly indie live event with creators, and we go like Friday is usually the kickoff show at night, and then Saturday and Sunday it goes for like 12 hours.
CromCom? It's not about Crom?
No, Crom is actually it's a derivative because the group that it sprung from was the I always say it wrong. The Comic Related Madness.
Oh, okay.
So they called it Crom, and they made like this little creature that you would probably see in like Dungeons and Dragons or something.
Okay. So, all right, we head back to Doom Island there, and here's our West Coast Avengers attacking with your favorite Iron Man suit. Yeah. And this is right after, I didn't realize, we see this here in a little while. They talk about it. This is right after freaking Demon in the Bottle. So Tony is still, he's
drunk as hell.
He's drunk as shit, and he's still dealing with his own problems, dude. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. All those years that I was drunk all the time working at those strip clubs, if I got in a fight, I was whipping somebody's ass because I was too drunk to know better. I didn't hold back, you know?
Yeah. So is that that's why Iron Man's so strong here? He's just blowing people away.
He's got bear balls.
Damn it. So there they are. They're all fighting, and Tiger wearing less than even normal, it seems.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So they get there, and finally the robots like quit fighting them, and they quit fighting them. So when they do, they just invite the Avengers in. They're like, come on in. And Doom, of course, he starts monologuing and explains his plan. And, Mockingbird's like, quick, stop him. But, at that distance, Hawkeye's not going to be able to stop him. So Doom throws on the switch and actually starts the damn, the psycho chamber there with Kilgrave in it, and immediately takes control of everyone's mind on the freaking island. minus, I guess, the people, his soldiers, and some of the other people that were shielded. And the Avengers are like, oh, he said, I can't remember why we're here. We're going to leave you, Dr. Doom. We're sorry for bothering you. And they leave. Like, bye, I'll see
We're
you later,
sorry, our
man.
mistake. We thought
Yeah.
we were coming over for milk and cookies. We'll just
Yeah.
leave now.
Yeah, we're going to go. Thanks, man. And the scientists are like, it works, doctor. All the capitals of the world will be burning shortly. And the skies will darken with the deaths. And Doom's like, you have no imagination. Then it takes us to I love it. So a couple days later, because he says in the book right there, he says it's going to take a couple days for the psycho gem to permeate the entire atmosphere and take over everybody.
Yeah, for the wave to go through. Yeah.
So like 2 days later, he shows up at the United Nations, and they all present him, and they're like, I'm so glad that you're here, and the world is in chaos and in the brink of destruction constantly. He says, the only person that could bring peace to the world is Dr. Doom. And he says, I don't even need you to vote. Just show me your hands, and everybody that votes for me, I'll become emperor of the world. And of course, all the people in the UN, they raise their hands. Even Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, and I don't know who this guy's supposed to be. And he's like, well, that's it.
The UN nowadays would surrender quicker than France.
Damn it. So he says, well, so Doom's like, that's it. I accept your, invitation as being ruler of the world. And Namor's like, so Doom, now that you're ruler of the world, I'm going to become ruler of the oceans again. We had a bargain. But lo and behold, just like the little psycho disc that Doom gave Namor to put on the robots, he essentially gave Namor a psycho disc to use. And that's the thing, because he says even though Namor can resist Kilgrave's power, holding that damn psycho disc that he has there, he can't, because he's in such proximity to Kilgrave that it even overrides his will when he commands it. And he even tries to throw it away, and Doom's like, no, just keep it. It's okay, I'll keep it. And then it's like, damn it. So Doom's got this all laid out, and then Reagan's like, hey, man, you can stay at the White House while you're in North America. And Doom's like, well, it's a little quaint, but sacrifices have to be made. Damn it. This is... yes, I think it did.
Yeah. That and the fact that he wanted to stay out of jail and rehab. So,
yeah, I mean, it just, the whole thing is, that was perfect casting. It really was.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I'm like, did they cast him just because? Well, he fits right into Demon in the Bottle.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And they just didn't do Demon in a Bottle, which they damn should have. What's funny though is after Doom takes control of the world, and here it is, Emperor Doom. In the days that follow, amazing things occur with amazing speed. So this is when the Russian army is actually in Afghanistan. They just withdraw. Says, we're going home. All the countries that are fighting with Ethiopia, because this is when the Ethiopian famine was going on, and they had the, what is it? Save the World. What's that Save the World song? The one that did the charity, food for hunger.
I know the one you're talking about. We Are the World.
We Are the World, yeah. So the Russians leave Afghanistan. All of the countries in and around Ethiopia help bring water and modern farming techniques and equipment to Ethiopia. So they stop the famine. The United Nations not the United Nations, but South Africa is turned over to the majority black rule. So apartheid is ended in South Africa, and they have joined the freaking UN. The stock market booms, interest rates fall, production rises, crime and hunger dwindle. The armies are become dismantled, except for a small forces to help with natural disasters. And it's all because of Doctor Doom. Essentially, the whole world becomes at peace.
Mm-hmm. I love that page just for the like the Doom symbols in his head.
Oh yeah, that one.
In the Cape, in the Cape Trail. Now I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it shows.
I would love to have this as like the outskirts of this as like a photo frame, and get an original sketch by an artist of like a really badass version of Doom in the middle and just hanging on the wall.
Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, but yeah, so I mean, and that is Doom is over all of this, and he brings peace to the world within a matter of just freaking weeks, and solves 95 to percent of the world's problems.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, weeks later pass, and the damn sensory deprivation chamber that Simon's been in pops open, and he gets out, and he's like, of course, he's naked. He's like, what the hell? Where's everybody at? Nobody's here. And he steps out in the hallway, and there's Tony Stark. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm redesigning the Stark space shuttle for use as the Emperor's private transport. And he really doesn't know Emperor. And then he goes on, and he goes to see, oh, look, there's Captain America, and he's with the Wasp. And they're all cleaning and remodeling the damn, the West Coast Avengers mansion. And he's like, well, why? Oh, well, the Emperor's going to stay here. And he just doesn't know who the hell's going on. And of course, then he goes in there, and there's Tigra. She's even got a little kitty cat on her damn bowl. So that's the way that, don't eat that one. It's got fur in it or whatever. And yeah, exactly. You'd be hacking up a loogie. She's eating cereal and milk, and the Emperor and everything. And then she licks his ear or some shit. It's weird, and she leaves. And of course, when she leaves, the news is on, and he's like, "There's a big ticker tape parade in New York," and he turns around, and it's Doctor Doom. And he's, oh my God, I've got to tell the others. So he rushes in, and he's like, Doctor Doom's taking over New York. We've got to stop him. And as soon as they hear it, Captain America runs to contact. I better get to the hotline. So Simon's like, yeah, cool, man. We're making progress here. But lo and behold, he calls Doctor Doom and says, hey, look, somebody's trying to stop you. And of course, Doom's standing there with Namor. And he's like, well, this is interesting. Someone that actually wants to resist my power. And then he looks into it, and he's like, oh, so Simon, is Simon Williams, doesn't breathe. His body is completely made of, his metabolism is completely different. He's made of energy. So he's immune to the effects of the psychoprism. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that they wanted to make sure you understood earlier. And Doom's like, so this is interesting. Then there's a big ass fight. I don't see the Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, beating Simon by themselves. No, it's not going to happen. He freaking lays Captain America out, throws a damn piano at Mockingbird and Hawkeye, freaking lays Tony Stark's ass out because he hasn't put.
He was drunk anyhow.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing he was drunk. He said, I pulled my punch, but what? Yeah, he doesn't even have the helmet on, barely gets the chest plate on, and freaking Simon lays his ass out.
Womp.
Jumps on the freaking. He doesn't have his little. I can't remember what he calls them there. His little his belt jets, which where he always used to fly with. He jumps on Hawkeye's jet cycle and flies off, but of course Janet manages to destroy the engine, so it crashes, not too far away from the mansion, and then he has to escape an angry mob that's trying to kill him because when he lands, Doom has already, plastered his picture over the news everywhere as a renegade Avenger, and he gets knocked down into the damn sewers.
Yep.
And has to head away. Of course, this is kind of interesting. He manages to sneak into the damn movie studio where old guard ain't paying much attention. He's too busy reading Playboy, and put makeup on.
Just for the articles.
Yeah. They had some really good articles. Puts the makeup on and slips away. I love how they got Luke Cage and Hulk guarding the frickin' White House. This isn't modern Luke Cage. This is Luke Cage back in the day. This is ass whip Luke Cage.
That is 1970s Luke Cage.
Yeah, this is the guy that really beats the hell out of people left and right.
Mm-hmm.
This is overkill. I mean, so they're guarding, and Doom's walking around. Still, he's got Namor there too as extra protection. What's going to come for you? The military? I don't know. And somebody runs up to him. He's like, Emperor, you wanted me to remind you there's a briefing on farm subsidies, you have to come to. And he's like, yes, it's my duty. So he turns around and heads back to the White House. And then we finally catch up with weeks have passed, and Simon Williams is still, hiding out in his disguise on the country, and bumps into this blind woman out in campground who's cooking some food, and of course all of a sudden he's hungry, so he wants to eat some fish and talks to her. She really can't see who he is. And she tells him about, you have to use whatever powers you've, been given, or whatever skills and abilities you have to try and make the world a better place. And Wonder Man finally decides. He says, "Yeah, maybe I've been kind of, feeling sorry for myself, and I should try and save the world, even though I may not be able to do it, but I got to make a try." And he tells the lady, Ellen, thanks for everything. And just a great throwaway character, because she probably never appears in any other books. After that, Simon's going to try and do that. So he breaks into the Avengers headquarters and actually goes through all the files to find out what the hell happens. What happened while he was in the sensory deprivation tank. He sees, the whole fight between Namor and the Vision, and this is where they show the filament of Purple Man's hair, and then he looks up Kilgrave, does all the research, and he finds out what the hell's going on. So he's like, I've got to go and get the strongest-willed Avenger I know to try and help me save the world, which of course is going to be Captain America. I didn't see that either, but yeah. So he goes, and he has to finally, him and Cap get into a fight. And I just don't think, no matter how good Cap is, Simon's just way too strong. And he finally knocks the hell out of him and forces him to watch a damn video of Dr. Doom attacking everybody. Attacking the Avengers, attacking the Fantastic Four while he keeps telling him. And finally, Cap snaps out of it. And he realizes that Dr. Doom is the enemy.
Yeah.
And then they have to come up with a plan. They're like, hey, we've got to get to the strongest-willed Avengers we can, and maybe we can help them. And, well, how are we going to do it? So Cap's like, oh, no problem, dude. I can lie. Everybody will believe me. Dude, you don't ever lie. You can't tell a convincing lie, but I guess because they're under mind control, it's easier. So he tells Iron Man, Janet, and Clint, or Hawkeye, that the Emperor is going to use these accelerated learning computers to help integrate into the public school system and make our education system better. So they're like, oh, no problem. It'll be fun. And they sit down, and they flash subliminal messages of Doctor Doom being Doctor Doom in front of them, and in a little bit they wake up and they're like, "Oh my God, Doctor Doom's evil. We've got to stop him. We've been had." Well, Hawkeye and Janet do. Uh, Tony's still like, "He's our enemy, right?" No, dude, he's still halfway plastered. He's not the Tony we thought he was. But he does manage to come around, and they all form a team to head out and stop him. Of course, what's cool is after here, Hawkeye or Captain America says, I don't think that Mockingbird was strong enough with her will to actually resist it. That's why we didn't talk to her. So Hawkeye's like, okay, I understand. It's probably for the best. But then his dumbass goes to her and tries to tell her what's going on. And she gets mad and alerts Doctor Doom. So now they don't even have the element of surprise. And they have to head out after Clint knocks his old lady out. And in Washington, Doctor Doom is still being Doctor Doom. He's solving everybody's problems. Everything's great. But here comes the Avengers heading towards Doom Island. This is the part in the book where I was like, I can see the end. You get to a comic, and especially a long comic like this, because this one was like 64 pages. I don't know if you felt this way when you read it. I got to this part and I'm like, I can see the end, but I didn't know how it was going to happen, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
The good guys are going to win because they're the good guys. And Doctor Doom manages to fight all these people. He's got his robots there. He blows them up. Wonder Man, attacks the tanks. Iron Man gets the crap knocked out of him again. Captain America's unloading on. They said these were regular people earlier, but now they're robots.
Now they're Doombots, yeah.
Now they're Doombots. But when they were first there, they were all afraid of him. They were regular soldiers. But now that Cap's fighting them, they're Doombots, so he can kill them all. And he's laying into them. The art's really good in this too. Bob Hall did some good stuff. Hawkeye gets gassed. This part here was kind of cool. So Hawkeye gets gassed, and he's about to get stomped on by this giant tank. And Tony is like, he's really still struggling with the control from the psycho thing. And he manages to actually blow the robot up finally because he knows that Hawkeye's his friend. And they keep wailing on him. Janet goes in to try and actually stop the psychoprism, but her little stings aren't strong enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's got to try and get away from the Doombots. And then she sees Namor has got a little psychoprism on him. So she's like, well, my wasp sting isn't strong enough for the big one. Maybe it'll go ahead and get Hillis. So she breaks his psychoprism while everybody else is trying to come in. And Namor's quick enough, he grabs her ass and he's going to squish her. But she realizes that Namor's just weak. That's why he's not broken the control of the psychoprism, because he's been out of water for so long. And of course, this is it's like Dr. No's, secret lair in James Bond. She blows up the damn thing and all the water rushes in. And as soon as it rushes in and empowers Namor, he's pissed off. And he's going to go after Doom. And this is the part that got me. So it's like,
Imperious Rex.
Yeah, Imperious Rex, the Avenging Sun, and Dr. Doom is watching it all on camera. He's like, pity. I had hoped to avoid using the nerve gas canisters set around the Prism lab. Namor was such an exemplary servant. He says, still, to maintain my rule, to continue as I have is necessary too. And then, if you notice, these are like, he's remembering. He's like, yes, Emperor, we need a ruling on the border dispute right away, and on and on and on. and Doom's reaching for the button. He's like, two, necessary two, and then it's like sums of the minutes of our last order, and he's remembering all of this crap he's been doing, solving everybody's problems,
Mm-hmm.
and he's inching ever closer to the button, and he never presses it. This is a story. It's like the old there's your Star Trek stuff going off in the background.
Yeah, that's my phone. I'll be right back. You keep talking.
Okay. While he's talking about his Star Trek, this is exactly what happens in damn Amok Time. Doctor Doom gets what he wants, and then once he gets what he wants, he realizes that it's not really what he wants. This is a man who has everything, and once he has it, he realizes he was much better off before. So there, instead of him setting off the gas and stopping the Avengers, he allows Namor to actually destroy the Psychoprism. And when he does, the world starts to fall apart. The Russians turn around, they head back, segregation comes back, everybody's mad at Doctor Doom, the military puts the missiles back on hold, everything returns to the way it is. And at the end of the fight, Namor's there, who, as far as we know here in this story, which we know later it didn't happen, we don't know how he come back, Kilgrave dies in the destruction of the Psychoprism. And Janet's like, oh God, he I don't know if he was going to live. And Namor tells him, it's just as well, there were too many lives at stake. And Namor does take the body of Kilgrave down, but Captain America heads off to chase Doom, who leaves a message. He says, Avengers, farewell. You've defeated me this time, and he flies off. And of course, afterwards, Namor and the rest of the Avengers are outside, and they're ranting and raving, or Namor is, the surface world has tricked me again, and I'll return to the sea to cleanse myself. And once he does that, Hawkeye actually makes the thing. He says, just forget that it was the surface people who saved you. And that's the end of the book. Yeah, Namor kind of jumps in the water and flies off. And the Avengers turn around and they head back to America, and they make the discussion. They're like, well, either we're going to go down in history as the greatest heroes that ever lived, or the worst heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Doom solved all the world's problems and made the world a perfect place to be. He ended famine, he ended war, he ended everything. But
we got to stop him. He's controlling everybody.
Yeah, he's controlling everybody. People need to make their own choices. The world's not perfect, but it's better than being a content, what do they say, a content slave. And Hawkeye just doesn't understand. He says, whether we're right or not. But what I was saying while you went off to get your phone is this is so much like Amok Time in Star Trek, with your phone going off a while ago. I mean, Doctor Doom gets everything he wants, and then he realizes, having is not the same thing as wanting.
Lorenzo, this is actually, let me blow myself up here for a second. This is actually Emperor Doom, starring the Mighty Avengers. This was
it's a Marvel graphic novel.
It's one of the Marvel graphic novels. Came out in the 80s. And that's what we're going over. So it's a 64-page graphic novel. It's a great book, and it's pretty awesome to have. So let me get my ugly mug back off of that. There we go.
Well, it really is a great story. And like I said, the thing is what kind of come to me after we read it. Like I said, Doctor Doom gets everything he wants, and it's he just doesn't want it anymore. But people always talk about, sometimes they talk about politics or messages and everything. This is one of those things. They slip the message in this book that come to the end, and this is your morality tale here. And nobody ever realized it as it is. Hold on a sec. Now I got my work calling me.
Okay. So if you have any more questions, Lorenzo, I'll be happy to answer them at this time. Just so you know, because you see me streaming like 5 days a week, and sometimes I do more than one a day. So I know you saw over on Twitter, I know you saw the post and everything where I sat down and talked to Rylan Grant about his new book from Source Point Press, Suicide Jockeys today. I'm doing this tonight. And then I've got another guest tomorrow night off the weekend. Then I have the creators of Rocan, because they're overseas, Monday at 1. And then I have another guest Monday night at 9, and another guest Tuesday night at 9 for Creators Outlet. And then Wednesday night, late night, we do the Seanzilla Art Show. We go on about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we go on for about an hour or so. And it's a live art stream where we talk all kinds of nerd culture and stuff. And then Thursday nights we do the OK Boomer podcast. So I do 3 different podcasts. One I might do up to 6 times a week. So if I have enough overseas guests, or there's too much family life going on at night, so I will have between 3 to 6 episodes of Creators Outlet. All those episodes actually get uploaded to my podcast platform, which is ageofradio.org, and are available to download. And they took away the subscribe button, but you can actually follow me on Spotify if you use Spotify, iTunes, what have you, and you get notified every time a new episode hits.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I just ran down my entire PR list for streaming for Lorenzo.
Oh, did you? But yeah, dude, this was a great book for an '80s book. I mean, there's just '80s to me is just the best time to read comics.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
64 pages, oversized magazine size. So this is like UK size. And when it came out, it was $5.95.
And it's Baxter paper too.
It's Baxter paper. It's square bound. It's oversized, and it's badass.
Yep. It is. It's a really good.
It's really cool. I stream every Thursday night, but I'm taking a break. Oh, cool. Well, by all means, if you see me on, come and hang out in the chat and stuff.
Yeah, dude. We never know what we're going to read. We randomly pick crap every week. The only real rule we've ever set is try not to do crap that people do all the damn time.
Yeah, don't go for all the keys. There's lots of great stories and arcs and graphic novels and stuff that we can read. We make exemptions to that, like some of the big graphic novels that we've covered so far are popular,
But yeah, most of the time it's just single issues, dude. That whole scene though. The fact that he has contemplating, dude. You could just see it. It's like, do I want to go back to these people asking me every damn thing and solving all their problems? And he could have stopped it, but he let the Avengers beat him. Like, damn. So what you want to do next week?
Well, I picked this one, so it's your turn to pick another one.
Oh. All right, so we've done Marvel. What we do? We did, was it DC last week? I've been trying to pick a lot of DC lately because of that. Hell. Since I just got another copy of it, or I got a copy of it, you want to do the first Sandman?
You want to do Sandman #1?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've read the first issue. I'm about half to 3/4 of the way through the whole series because I've got them all in trades, and I'll go back to reading them in a while back. It's like it's kind of like I'm reading them like I'm reading Cerebus. I've read like 13 or 14 issues, or not issues, but of the phone books of Cerebus. But it's been a while, and I remember that's I just picked it up, and it's it's a damn great read. But yeah, we can read it because the first issue is like a standalone, and then it leads into the series later on after that.
It's the prelude for the first arc. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I've got all the Sandman stuff, but I've got it all in trades and hardcovers. I wish I had all the hardcovers, but
I've got all of the trades myself. I've got the most of them I bought are the I got the was it when they remastered them a while back, a couple years ago? That's the ones I picked up. And I've got a handful of the issues in single issues, but not many of them. And like I said, I stumbled across that book, so I was just like, damn, just can't pass it up for the price I got it at. But cool, yeah, I'll get that over to you, and we'll be back next Thursday and do first Sandman.
Cool. Yeah, I saw one of the old school creators that worked on the older Green Lanterns. Jim Lee sent him over like this big giant box, and he opened it up, and he was posting it on his Instagram. It's a giant slipcase box set of all the Jeff Johns stuff from Green Lantern.
Really?
It's it's Blackest Night and Brightest Day, all the individual hardcovers, and then when you slide the big box out, on one side of the box remember they gave out like all the different colored rings?
Yeah. They were like 5 of them or something.
No, there's like a dozen of them.
Oh, really? That many?
One for each color of the rainbow. Then there's the black one for Death, and then there's the White Lantern one. All these they built them into the side of the box, so they're there, but they're displayed all together. I'm like, man, if only one of those worked, I would be the happiest shit.
Dude, do you remember back when they were doing that, and they were doing all the different colored Green Lantern stuff? There was an issue of Action Comics that Lex Luthor manages to get an orange ring. And
he got what's his name's ring?
Yeah, because he kills him or something. But he gets his ring off of him, and then the next issue of freaking Action Comics is Lex Luthor in orange battle armor.
Yep, I remember that. That was badass.
This is the baddest damn thing I've ever read, because Luthor is an absolute badass. Dude, we've got to do that book too. Talking about books that we need to do. We've been talking about it for a freaking year. We got to read Luthor, because I freaking love Luthor. I don't know why. I watched Red Sun last night.
Mm-hmm.
The cartoon.
The animated, yeah.
The animated one? Damn, that's good.
I started watching the first part of Long Halloween.
Yeah.
but I fell asleep. But I couldn't tell whether it was the same voice actor for like 3 or 4 guys, principals in the story,
Yeah.
or if they just got people that sounded so much alike that there was no
no variation.
There was no variation and separation between the voiceovers. It was weird.
Damn. But yeah, I watched it. My kids don't always watch the animated cartoons with me anymore because they've grown up and they're out of superheroes. But they've always kind of heard me talk about the Red Sun storyline. It's just one of my favorite of the alternate worlds.
I've got all the figures.
Do you?
I've got the DC Direct figures, the ones that you had to order through DC at your local comic shop.
Yeah.
None of these went out, and McFarlane's doing his version of them. So they're probably like better articulated, and they'll all come. The best thing that McFarlane ever did was the fact that he puts a stand so you can pose your figures, either flying, jumping in the air, standing, or whatever. There's a movable stand that you can set the figure up with.
Well, I'll need to get one.
I will never open them. So I've got Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and Hal Jordan. So I guess he's Green Lantern, but he's still in his flight suit. So it's a pretty rad looking figure.
Okay, I just realized something while we're talking about action figures and everything else. You remember what's going to happen the 23rd of this month, right? Or is your brain slipped?
No, what's happening on the 23rd?
The new He-Man animated series.
Oh, that abortion.
What?
Fuck Kevin Smith in this pussy ass version of He-Man.
You hadn't even seen it yet. We don't know.
Really?
Really? Did you watch the new Voltron a couple years ago?
Yes.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's go into this with hope. Okay? I was going to say we may need to do a He-Man comic book between now and then. It's better than My Little Pony.
I don't know. I think I might rather do My Little Pony.
My wife's out of town. That's my wife calling me now.
Okay, we will see you next week with Sandman #1. Lorenzo, thanks so much for coming and hanging out. It was a pleasure interacting with you in the chat.
Bye, man.
And we'll see you again real soon. And I will be back tomorrow night with a new interview for Creators.
I'm finishing up now. Finishing up, Bo. No.